Look at that face. Go on, look at it. That's the face that sells the breed. The lion's mane, the scowl, the blue-black tongue, and the general air of, I am aware I am beautiful, and I have chosen to allow you to witness it. It's a good face. It's an honest face too, because everything you're about to fall for is real. But here's the question nobody asks before they fall for it. Are you choosing the dog in the photograph? Or are you ready for the dog that actually shows up? Because the thing that makes you fall in love with a Chow Chow is very often the exact same thing that will test you at 6 a.m. on a Tuesday. You love that they're independent. Independent also means they have opinions about your plans. And your plans lost. You love that they're calm. Calm is a general description. Yours might not have read the brochure. You love that they're loyal. Loyal doesn't necessarily mean friendly to the postman, or your mother-in-law, or anyone, really. You love the coat. The coat is now, and forever, also your coat. And you love that a Chow Chow doesn't act like other dogs, which is wonderful, right up until someone expects it to. This isn't a "Are Chow Chows good dogs?" episode. They are. Obviously they are. This is the "Are you ready for the actual dog?" episode. Because you're not adopting a photograph. You're adopting a small, opinionated lion who may already have some thoughts about how things are going to work. People love the independence. On paper, it's brilliant. This is a dog that doesn't need you to referee its every waking moment. It isn't glued to your ankles. It isn't staring at the door demanding a walk every 10 minutes. It's just there, supervising, content. Right up until you actually need it to do something. You call the dog.
Come, Kiki.
The dog looks at you.
Come inside.
You wait.
Inside.
The dog continues to look at you.
Come.
The same look you'd give a waiter who has brought you the wrong order and is now somehow waiting for a tip anyway. At some point you realize this was never a training exercise. This is a negotiation, and the chow is waiting to hear what you're offering. This is usually where people say the breed is stubborn, untrainable,
Come, Kiki.
not very bright. But hang on, what are we actually measuring? How fast it obeys? How badly it wants to please you? Those are real things.
There you go. You coming with?
They're just not the same thing as intelligence.
You wanna come
A
with?
Chow Chow may know exactly what you asked. It may simply have decided that the cost of doing it is currently higher than the benefit. Most classic dog training is built for dogs that are highly motivated to work with their handler. A Chow Chow is not always that dog. A Chow Chow is often more interested in whether your request makes sense to the Chow Chow. So it's not no training, and it's not no boundaries. It's a relationship built on consistency and trust, where you've earned the yes instead of simply demanding it. That's a whole episode on its own. For now, just sit with this. Could you love a dog that understands exactly what you want and still doesn't think it's worth doing? The other big draw is that famous calm. A walk, a bit of interaction, some mental stimulation, family time, and then the throne. Somewhere elevated, somewhere with a clear view of the front door so nothing enters the kingdom unnoticed. But calm is not one setting. Some chows are livelier than the brochure suggests. Some are outgoing. Some are quieter. Some are perfectly happy to let you touch their ears. Some appear to regard this as a personal boundary violation. The individual matters more than the breed description ever will, which is why the puppy will choose you is such a lovely, romantic, mostly terrible idea. The puppy that trots over might just be the one who woke up first, or the closest to the gate, or the hungriest. That tells you something. It does not tell you everything. You spend months deciding you want a moderate, sensible, medium-energy dog. Then you meet the cream puppy with the ridiculous fluff and the tiny, outraged expression. The puppy looks at you. You look at the puppy. Somewhere behind your eyes, 3 months of research quietly packs a bag and leaves through the back door. You're not going to live with that puppy's color for the next 10, 12, or 14 years. You're going to live with its character. You can fall in love with the color in 5 minutes. Can you fall in love with a character over a decade and a half? That's why a good breeder is doing more than pointing at the prettiest puppy. They're asking what your home is actually like, watching the litter develop, and matching temperament to household, not looks to an Instagram caption. You still get a say, always. But choosing a puppy should be a decision, not a single adorable ambush. And if you're looking at an adult dog instead, you get the advantage of seeing more of the animal already assembled, which brings its own question. Because the dog in front of you may not be showing you all of itself yet. Here's a way to think about it. Breeds are like cultures. Dogs are like people. The culture might be reserved. This particular guy is basically the mayor. The culture is independent. This one checks in constantly, like he's on a work trip and misses his family. The culture is calm. This one has apparently mistaken himself for a border collie. Knowing the breed gives you the starting line. It does not tell you who's actually running the race. This matters enormously with an adult dog or a rescue, because a shelter or foster home is not a normal environment for anyone, human or chow. Imagine your worst week. Except you also don't have language. Nobody has explained what's happening, and you have no idea when it ends. For Chow Chows, that's genuinely traumatic. Familiar people, gone. Familiar smells, gone. Replaced by concrete, strangers, and noise. A dog under that kind of pressure can shut down, become defensive, or seem difficult in ways that may tell you very little about who he is in a stable home. That doesn't mean you ignore concerning behavior. It means you understand what you're assessing. You are not necessarily seeing the dog at its best. You may be seeing a dog in crisis, and crisis is not a personality. The honest question isn't, can I save this dog? It's, can I actually care for this dog as he is, including the parts I haven't met yet? Chow Chows bond hard with their people. It's one of the best parts of owning one. That quiet, total, you are mine, and I will not be discussing this further, devotion. What it isn't is a personality that loves everyone equally. Your chow may adore your household and regard your neighbor as a rumor it chooses not to investigate. Some are social. Some are polite but distant. Some have already decided. and no amount of dog treats is reopening the case. Socialization matters. A lot. But socialization isn't a machine that turns your Chow Chow into a Labrador. It's teaching the dog how to navigate the world calmly. Not teaching it to enjoy being handled by every enthusiastic stranger at the school gate. A Chow Chow does not owe everybody a greeting, and if someone reaches for your dog anyway, you may find yourself saying with a completely straight face, "He's not doing meet and greets today." Some people will look at you like you've committed a small social crime. That's fine. That's on them. You have exactly one job in that moment. Notice your dog is uncomfortable and do something about it before he has to. So, are you willing to be the one who says no on your dog's behalf? Because sometimes the job isn't teaching your chow to tolerate the world. It's teaching the world that it doesn't get to assume. And then, the coat. The whole reason half of you are here. It is genuinely magnificent. It is also, quietly, a second job. Rough chows need proper, regular grooming, brushing, coat care, the works. Smooth chows need less of that. But less is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. Smooth chows still shed, and both coat types come with the rest of the maintenance list: skin, ears, eyes, feet, nails. The coat is the headline, it is not the whole story. Consider this your official warning. Buy the good vacuum, not the one on special, the good one. But here's the reframe. Grooming doesn't have to be a chore you tolerate. It can become a routine your dog learns to enjoy. One of the easiest ways to build trust with a breed that doesn't hand out trust for free. Start young, keep it calm, and it becomes something you do together, not something you do to him. If you want a wash-and-go dog, this is probably not your breed. That's not a criticism, it's just true. So the real question isn't, do I love the coat? It's, am I actually going to look after it every week for its whole life?
Puppies are easy to love. That part requires no convincing. But the puppy becomes a dog, and that dog might be with you for well over a decade. Which means the real question isn't about the puppy at all. Can you care for this dog when things don't go the way you pictured? Because health issues happen. Vet bills happen. A puppy can grow into a temperament you didn't expect. An adult dog can arrive with needs nobody warned you about. A rescue can come with a history that's mostly guesswork. There's no single right way to bring a Chow Chow home. A good breeder can match a puppy to a suitable household. An adult dog can be exactly right for someone who wants to skip the puppy chaos. A rescue can be the best decision one person ever makes, and more than another person can honestly manage. The question was never, can I get a Chow Chow? It is, can I responsibly care for this dog when the plan changes? Because it will. And maybe that's the real question sitting underneath all the others. Are you choosing the dog you want? Or are you ready for the dog you actually get? Because a lot of the struggle people have with this breed isn't the dog being impossible. It's the owner quietly trying to edit the dog into something else, turning an opinionated dog into an obedient one, turning a reserved dog into a social butterfly, turning the dog in front of them into the dog they'd already imagined before they'd even met him. But what if the better question is simpler? What is this dog good at? What does he enjoy? What motivates him? What's the relationship we can actually build? The goal was never to erase the dog and start again. It's to bring out the best version of the dog you've got. You can spend years fighting a chow's nature, or you can spend that same time learning how to work with it, which, it turns out, is much less exhausting. That's not the same as having no boundaries. Leadership isn't control. A commander says, "Do what I say." A leader asks, "How do I help you succeed as you are?" That's probably the single most useful thing to understand before you bring one of these dogs home. So, is this the right breed for you? Maybe. But the answer was never going to come from a photograph, or from a list of pros that's longer than the list of cons. Every breed has traits that delight one person and completely undo another. The only question that matters is whether the real dog fits your real life. Can you live with independence? Can you accept that he understood the command doesn't necessarily mean he did the command? Can you choose temperament over color? Can you respect a dog that might never want to be everyone's friend? Can you be the one who says, "Not today," on his behalf? Can you keep up with the coat, the shedding, the vet bills, the surprises? And when the plan changes, because it will, can you still show up? Because choosing this breed was never about choosing the easy version of the dog. It's choosing the real one. Opinions and all, preferences and all, the parts that are magnificent and the parts that will absolutely test your patience at 6 a.m. on a Tuesday. And very possibly, the parts that end up meaning more to you than anything you originally pictured. There's no perfect dog. That one doesn't exist. Not in this breed, not in any breed. There's only the dog whose real nature fits your real life, and the honesty to notice if it doesn't. So maybe the question was never, do I want a Chow Chow? Maybe it's, do I want to live with a Chow Chow exactly as he is? Because the things that challenge you at the start are very often the things you end up loving most. The independence that frustrated you becomes the quiet trust you'd miss most if it were gone. The aloofness you misread becomes the bond you didn't see coming. And the dog you didn't pick because he wasn't the prettiest one in the litter becomes the one you can't imagine having chosen any other way. You weren't looking for a perfect dog. You were looking for a relationship worth all of it. And if, after all of that, you still want one of these ridiculous, magnificent, faintly judgmental little lions in your life, then you're not in love with the picture anymore. You're starting to understand the dog, which is a much better place to begin.